All right, now that we know what we're dealing with, let's just get to it. Okay, I'm at a good stopping point. Let's see where things are at. So I got the machine gutted. That's really where I'm at, right? So I got all the wires and cabling laid out here. I'll clean all that stuff and put it in bins. Kind of played around with that Playfield a little bit, just see what kind of potential it has. It's got good potential. I mean, I've certainly restored worse. Believe it or not, there was a time in this world where you couldn't get Addams Family Playfields, and I was restoring whatever I had to work with, and that includes Playfields that had magnet burn, blown out chair holes, all those things. So this is none of that. It's got good potential, but I don't know how practical it is. There's a couple things about it that concern me. It does seem to be pretty straight. I don't see any real bow in it. That seems okay. maybe a real slight one, but it's got all its parts off of it. But it did have a little bit more of a flex to it than I like, and I'm worried that maybe the moisture has somehow or another compromised the integrity of the wood. So it's got the potential to be beautiful again, no question about that. I like that about it, but I don't want to put that effort into it and then regret it later and be like, it's a spongy turd. So I don't know. We'll find out, but we'll see. We'll see. That's kind of like a question mark right now. I do have a replacement, and I'll show you that when the time comes too, but we'll get into it when the time comes. I did look at the ramp. The ramp's unbroken, so I'm going to be able to salvage this ramp. I don't have to, like I said, but the replacement ramps are clear, and they're a little bit thick, and they can be, I don't want to say problematic, but they can take a lot more effort to get to fit well as compared to the originals, because the reason they make the replacement ramps thicker is because the originals break a little bit easier. They're a little bit thinner, but that leads to another problem. Okay, now this thicker ramp doesn't fit the same way as the thinner one. So we'll get into that too. We'll see about that. And I don't know what else. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know why I'm not thinking about all this shit right here. I mean, come on. This is a lot to deal with. Addams Family is one of those games that's packed with mechs. It's got motors and mechs and, all these things. 3 magnets, you know the deal. And the plastic stuff, that I'll see what I got there. I got new plastics anyway, but might salvage those. I don't know. I just don't know how much of a purist type build I'm going to try to do. This is kind of an indicator of what I'm dealing with here. If anything was going to tell you the story of this game, I'd say this does pretty much the best job right here. From the labels to the rest. That's what you got to work with. Transformer, clean up. I can clean that up, no problem. Wire form just needs to be exchanged for a recently plated version. This one's pitted, but it's solid. Apron's got good potential, but I already have a recently screen printed apron that I've clear coated, thinking that this is going to be trashed, and just really surprised that it wasn't. So we'll see what we use there, but this one could be reworked. Stuff to put in the tumbler from the Playfield. Stuff to put in the tumbler from the cabinet. And this plate that I had to very carefully remove. That's not an easy process. That's why I wanted to show that. You got to kind of grind slots. Those are one-way screws, tamper-proof screws, and I've never found a great way to remove them, so I just basically carefully cut a notch in them and then treat them like a flat blade screw or a slotted screw, and I managed to get it off. But the thing that makes you nervous is, if you just barely nick this thing, it's gonna at least discolor it. I could probably touch it up if it did, but I was careful. I kind of know what I'm doing. All right, so that's where we're at. Let me regroup, and we'll see what happens in the next one.